Maniacs, welcome back to the channel. We are doing more Sam and Colby, and this one is probably going to be a tearjerker. It looks like Colby came out with a video on Sam and Colby's main channel about how he was diagnosed with cancer several months ago, and it really took a toll on the Sam and Colby community. Obviously, him too. Obviously, this is something really, deep to go into and something very heartbreaking to go into. I have kept up to date with his cancer, so you can always hope for good news by the end of the video, hopefully. You just never know with this kind of situation. So if you do see me cry at all, it's because, look, regardless of what you think about me when it comes to Sam and Colby, I've grown to really love the channel. I have nothing against Sam nor Colby. Now, yes, occasionally have I critiqued their videos? Yes, I have. Everybody does it. Everybody critiques every channel. My channel gets critiqued. I'm a reaction channel. Come at me. It's okay. I understand. I react to people's content. I give my thoughts and opinions about the video. That is what I'm here for. If you don't like that, then please go watch the original videos and just watch their videos only. If you're not into reactions, that's fine. Sometimes I can be a little bit harsh. Sometimes I can be a little bit overly critical when it comes to certain things. I do that so often. And again, it's nothing personal on the people who make the videos. Obviously, I always encourage people, and I always will encourage Sam and Colby to keep doing what you're doing. Obviously, you should not listen to somebody of my caliber. By far not. You guys are doing phenomenal. There's a reason why you have almost 10 million subscribers, because you guys have built a community that just deeply admires you and deeply loves you. I'm a part of that community myself. So I want to go ahead and watch this video, give you guys my thoughts. If I cry, I apologize, but sometimes I can't help it. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and dive into the video, guys. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and I'll give you guys my thoughts during and after the video.
This is Sam.
And this is Colby.
And together,
We're Sam and Colby. Sounds like he's saying Kobe.
that was great.
Hi, Mr. Bronx. This is Dr. Law. I need you to call me back as soon as you can to discuss the results. Give us a call back right away. Bye.
Hang in there, buddy. You're gonna get through this. You are like the strongest motherfucker I know, so if anyone can get through this, it's gonna be you.
Crazy, brother. I hope you're doing all right. I can't believe that was just going on.
Colby, my brother, that is definitely wild. Anytime you hear that word cancer, it just hits a little deeper.
Dude, Colby, I am so sorry to hear that.
Chris and I love you so much, and if there's anything you need at any minute, we'll drop it. We'll be there.
If you need anything, I can, I drop whatever the fuck I'm doing here. You matter a lot more.
If you need anything, I'm here for you. I'm gonna be praying for you, bro. God bless, brother. Everything will be alright.
Wow. That image right there, man, I gotta say, shook the internet. Specifically, obviously, the Sam and Colby community. Like that, everybody, including my sister, broke down and cried. I got a little bit emotional because when you look at the situation, man, I'm already about to cry. When you look at the situation, man, this guy is like, he's just starting life. He's 26, 27 years old, maybe 28. He's like around my age. I just turned 27 a couple days ago. July 2nd is when I turned 27. And when you found out that this fucking guy, almost said kid because, we're all still very young, got cancer, you're just like, fuck, dude. Like, he's doing great. He's doing phenomenal. All I can hope is, for really good news by this video. Sorry.
Hearing the word cancer for the first time, I just was in disbelief.
I think anybody would be. Yeah.
I remember I ran to my bathroom mirror and looked myself in the eyes, and I said, whatever I gotta do, I got this. Just take one step at a time. Let's go to the doctors right now and talk to him in person. And on my way to the doctors was when I called Sam for the first time. I remember him being super positive and just saying that we're gonna get through this. But what he really wanted was to see me as soon as possible. And so he actually drove out to my doctors to meet me there. And it only took them about 5 minutes to get the results. And they confirmed that yes, something super concerning was happening and that I would probably need to get surgery as soon as possible. As I was leaving the doctor's appointment, I remember running into Sam. And this was the first time that I saw him since I told him the news. And so we just hugged each other for a really, really long time. And it just felt amazing to be able to confide in my best friend everything that I was thinking and feeling at that certain moment. You guys have no idea. It just made everything instantly better just having him by my...
No, dude. No, dude. And look, I have not ever had anything along the levels of cancer as a conversation with my best friend, but dude, the actual feeling of actually having that one friend who you know is just by your side no matter what you do, he's got your back. I mean, it's a good feeling. I have a buddy like that who I know will always have my back. It doesn't matter what is going on. If I were to let's say, you know, get diagnosed with something or maybe something bad happens or anything, he's the first person. He's always the fucking first person to make sure he goes out of his way to ring me up and say, "Hey man, I heard what's going on. What's going on?" He always that first person, and it's always such a phenomenal feeling. I know exactly what you're feeling. I know exactly what you're thinking. My buddy Lane, dude, is like, fuck, he's my fucking like brother, man. I love this guy. Like, I'd take 500 bullets for this guy. Like, I'd take 500. You kidding me, dude?
My side. On my way home, I remember calling my mom for the first time, which was super hard, hearing the pain in her voice.
No, dude, I couldn't imagine what that must have been like. Oh my god, could you imagine the disbelief in your mom's voice the second you even mentioned that word? Mom, I don't know how to tell you this, but I got, like, cancer? Could you even say it with a straight face? Could you even say it? Like, I couldn't even imagine what that must have been like. Damn, dude. That would be probably the toughest thing, is telling everybody that you know that you have something as serious as cancer. There was a moment, and thankfully it was not what we thought it was, but there was a moment where my buddy actually faced a similar situation. I'll probably bleep out his name because, you know, that's private information. A very similar situation, and when he told me, when the C word came up as a possibility, my heart froze. I froze. I was like paralyzed, but I did exactly what I think any normal and rational person would do, and that is to boost his confidence up. Say, you know what? It don't fucking matter what you got, man. You're gonna get through it because you are such a fucking tough guy. You can do this. You know, you gotta have that. You gotta have that belief. You gotta have that confidence. You gotta have that overall just overpowering just sense of you can accomplish anything.
I can't even explain like how that makes you feel. In fact, I think the hardest part of this entire journey has been telling other people.
Yeah. Yeah.
To be honest, it just sucked being the bearer of bad news, and I hated seeing the way that my friends and family's face would change completely when I told them about it. It's hard.
Coping.
So, if you're wondering how I cope with the news that I had cancer, it was actually through a lot of exercise and hiking. Guys, if I didn't have a place to go hiking every single day, I would have actually gone crazy. Hiking was the only thing helping me with my anxiety.
Makes sense, man.
Alright guys, it says no filming in here at all, but we're rebels, you know what I'm saying?
15 minutes before surgery.
15 minutes. I feel a little bit of nerves, I'm not gonna lie. It is what it is, you
It's
know?
a good thing overall. Like, this is supposed to help you.
Yeah, I want this to happen sooner than later, so like I'm excited for the surgery.
The second the door opens, oh yeah, he put the phone away, and that was cool. You know, to hear that hiking was one of the ways that he got his mind off of the whole thing. Probably wouldn't work for me. I feel like if I were to go on walks with that kind of knowledge in the back of my mind, I would think about it more. Some people, when it comes to just enjoying nature, walking around, seeing things, have that feeling of freedom. Yeah, makes perfect sense that it helped him a lot, which is awesome to hear.
So my first step of this entire crazy process was going to be surgery. I needed to just get this cancerous mass out of me as soon as possible. And after many, many calls and many other appointments to set up even being able to be qualified to go to surgery, I was finally able to schedule it about 2 weeks later, which was pretty dang fast. In those 2 weeks leading up to the surgery, I definitely felt nervous, I'm not gonna lie, but it was mostly because I've never been put under general anesthesia, so I was kind of afraid of that process. But I'm telling you guys, it was so easy. It was literally like teleporting.
Give future Colby an update.
Yeah,
on
I
what you're
mean,
thinking.
zero recollection of some people looking at my balls. So.
And he made it!
The day after surgery, I was debating whether I wanted to tell social media or not. And if you guys saw my Instagram post in February, then you know that I decided to tell everybody. I just was realistically thinking of how many people it could help and how much awareness I could spread by sharing my story, and that I'm fortunate enough to have the platform that I have. So why wouldn't I use my platform to put a positive impact on people? And guys, I just want to say a massive, massive thank you for all the love and support that you gave me as soon as I told everybody in February. It means the world to me. I can't tell you how thankful I am to have all you guys.
Scan anxiety, huh?
So the next steps after surgery was I just had to go in and get weekly blood work to check those tumor markers. And this brings me to something that I call scanxiety, the worst feeling of this entire journey. I would go and get my blood done, and then usually only like 24 hours later, I'd get the results back. Since I was going so often, I knew when to check and would be constantly on my computer refreshing and seeing if the results were there, obviously hoping that my tumor markers were going down each time, so there was just like a lot of anxiety of what these results would say. And if there was any side of my tumor markers not going back to normal, I would automatically have to do 3 months of chemo minimum. I will say though, the way I've been coping with that specifically is just telling myself it is what it is. Might as well not cry about it now. If it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. And then besides the anxiety, it was just that lingering, do I have to do chemo thought that was in the back of my head that just kept creeping up, that would just push down.
Resuming normal life. That would be interesting. Yeah, because I think a lot of you guys, even I was aware that Colby was filming a lot of Sam and Colby videos while he was undergoing his, like, issues with cancer. And it makes perfect sense, man. I was always surprised to hear that he was still filming. I figured they would film, like, a bunch of videos and then have them scheduled out to make it easier on him, which I'm sure they probably did in a lot of senses. And the stress of that on the back of your mind the entire time while filming a paranormal investigation or just an explore video.
Something that I want to talk about as well is just resuming normal life while going through a situation like this. Obviously, I was still editing and working, doing meetings, filming YouTube videos for you guys. I did the whole UK trip while I was doing blood work and dealing with scanxiety, and so I just think it's really important to get the point across that daily life does not stop. And obviously, since health is so important, it was on the front of my mind constantly, and so I'd have to kind of forget, quote unquote, for a little bit in order to work and resume normal life. I met up with my oncologist and I was given an ultimatum for next steps. I had a 35% chance of recurrence, meaning I had 1/3 of a chance of my cancer coming back. That left me with the hardest decision I had to make in my entire life. The doctor said I could either choose something called active surveillance, where they basically just monitor you super closely, and I'd have to live with this 35% recurrence forever, or I could do 1 cycle of chemotherapy, and that would take that 35% down all the way to less than 5. But guys, just to be completely open and real with you, I was not in a good place for a second because of this decision. When I had all my blood work appointments lined out for me and I had my surgery and just had a plan of action, I was actually way less anxious because I knew what I had to do. But because I had to make the decision and it was like a gray area and I could choose either path, and both of them could have been fine or not work out, and it was up to me, put me in just this anxious mindset of honestly just worrying about choosing the wrong thing. It's just like with active surveillance, I'd be living with anxiety. But if I did chemo, I could possibly have all these bad side effects that could last a lifetime, possibly become infertile, lose all my hair, the list goes on and on of all the negatives that chemo brings. But
yeah, I think a lot of people actually mentioned that one of the reasons why he was like trying to there's something that he was trying to avoid because he was afraid to lose his hair, which I think chemo is how you would probably lose your hair, because it like destroys cells in the body. I think there was something said about that he was afraid to lose his hair, and I even had people like certain people, not saying making fun of the fact that he would rather, he was so afraid to lose his hair, but it's like I completely understand losing your hair is a frightening image. I certainly would never want to lose my hair. I could only imagine what was going through Colby's mind. He's even bigger than me on the internet. So like what was going through this guy's mind when that concept came up and he had to choose whether he was going to make the right decision or the wrong decision. You don't know in those moments. You see, what I like to do a lot is put myself in the shoes of people. And I'd almost rather someone make that decision for me.
then again, it gets rid of the cancer, so it gets rid of that anxiety. It's like I had no clear choice of what to do. Like guys, chemo, for those of you who don't know, is literally like a self-destruct button in your body. The way it works is it kills really, really fast growing cells everywhere. Cancer cells are the fastest growing cells, so it targets those first, but it also kills all your other healthy cells. I realize I'm gonna be completely vulnerable with you guys right now. The main reason I didn't want to do chemotherapy was just for superficial reasons. I just didn't want to lose my hair, especially being somebody that's on social media. Like, it even got to the point where late at night, if I couldn't sleep because I'd be...
I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't judge him for this. I understand, man. I understand. I mean, at the end of the day, would I encourage you, yes, even if you were to lose your hair, to try to, kick it out regardless of losing your hair? Yes, I would. I would, because your life is more important than your hair. And I'm sorry, even knowing that, yes, you may have lost your hair, I think your fans would still love you regardless if you had hair or not. I don't think they would hate you either way, but I get it because I am self-conscious myself, and I, again, would not want to lose my hair. So I will never slam you for making that decision. And I'm happy, you still have your hair today, so that's great. At the end of the day, I get it, man. I get it. It's easy for people on the outside to say, well, at the end of the day, you should have just done it anyways, even if you were to lose your hair because your life is more important. But I get it because I am a very self-conscious person myself, and I would be really thinking about how people would look at me and how people would take me if I wasn't somebody with hair. I do completely understand what was probably going through Colby's mind when he thought about this. And again, this guy is bigger on social media than everybody's practically bigger than me on social media. I don't even know where to go with this at this point, dude. I'm just kind of wanting to continue the video. I'm sorry. Let's just go ahead and continue.
Thinking about the chemo, I would go on Snapchat and find those filters that get rid of your eyebrows and your hair and just like stare at myself, like looking at the filter. I truthfully cared what you guys would have thought about me when I knew deep down that health was the most important thing. So that's why I chose chemo. Finally, the main reason why I ended up choosing chemotherapy is because if my cancer, God forbid, did come back, then I wouldn't have to just do one 21-day cycle, but I would at minimum have to do 3 to 4 cycles, which would be 3 or 4 months. And I just couldn't afford to take off that much time from everything else I got going on in life.
Make no mistake about it, Colby, though. Make no mistake about it. Your fans would have been okay with that. No one would have questioned it. And if they were to have questioned it, they're not your true fans. If they truly wanted what was best for you, they would have been like, dude, take off a full fucking year. Don't get me wrong. We'll miss you having you in Sam and Colby's videos, for sure. And I'm sure Sam would feel the same way. But at the end of the day, man, even if at the end of that year, we found out you were cancer-free completely, I think it's safe to say we'd be more happy about that than anything else. I truly mean that. I don't care how long you would have taken off. I still would have been reacting to Sam and Colby's videos, giving my absolute 100% support. And I think everybody else is probably in the same boat as I am when it comes to these fucking guys, man. I have no doubt in my mind. And again, even if you lost your hair, I don't even think they would have judged you. And if they did, I will say what I just said. You're not a true Sam and Colby fan if you would have judged him, even if he did lose his hair. If you were one of those pieces of shit, fuck, unsubscribe to my channel. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck you.
Oh my gosh, and let me tell you, it felt so good for me to just get out of that gray area and have a plan of action. As soon as I made up my mind and told the doctor and had something scheduled down that I am doing chemo for sure, all of that gray area anxiety and decision-making anxiety went away instantly.
That's good. That's good to hear.
For the first week of my cycle, I had infusions 5 days in a row. And my arm veins are completely destroyed. I would go into the hospital every single morning at like 8 a.m. and they'd put like a little IV in my hand. And I would sit there for about 4 to 5 hours as the chemo was doing its thing and entering my veins. First week was the hardest because I did get slammed with so much chemo. I lost my appetite almost completely and I lost a lot of weight too. Before starting chemo, I was weighing in around 160, and by day 21, I was 147. I experienced stuff called tinnitus, which is like your ears ringing all the time. I had some weird visual hallucinations as well. Not like I was seeing giraffes running around my living room, but definitely like some weird, clouded, foggy hallucinations that would appear in the corner of my eyes. It's really hard to explain. I took this specific chemo drug called bleomycin, which made my face so red, like I was in the sun all day, and it was starting to peel. I did have one freak out moment, not gonna lie.
Yesterday I had an anxious morning because it was the first time seeing my face all red and swollen, and waking up and seeing that like kind of spiraled me a little bit, if I'm being honest, because I thought I couldn't breathe as deep, and I saw that my heart rate was accelerating and stuff, and so it just kind of perpetuated this feeling of fear and what's going on, especially because I got to the hospital and I went to the bathroom and looked in the mirror and my eyes were completely bloodshot red and my lips were really chapped and my face was beet red.
But I thank God every single day that I have not experienced any long-term side effects from my chemo. The 21 days was very hard, but it's gonna be different for every person going through it. There's dozens of chemo drugs for different cancers. Was it hard? Yes. Was it bearable? Yeah, I survived. And as you guys can see, I kept my hair. So the thing that I was most worried about, the alopecia, didn't even affect me. The main thing that I did that saved my hair was something called cold capping. And this is a practice that is not backed by doctors quite yet because it's so new that they just don't know if it works or not. But oh my God, that process was absolutely insane. That was, no joke, the hardest part of my entire cycle. Way, way, way worse than any symptom that I felt was just having a frozen head for like 8 hours a day. So essentially what cold capping is just taking a helmet and putting it in a bucket of dry ice, and it has to get down to this specific freezing temperature and then switched out every single—
Did that say -2 to 22 degrees Fahrenheit? Oh my God. Oh my God.
30 minutes. Starting at 8 a.m. and then ending around dinner time. So it was hours. The first 5 minutes of cold capping every day was probably the worst part. It's freezing the head. And then I was just numb. And it goes all around your ears as well. So I couldn't hear hardly anything while I was like experiencing all the other symptoms of chemo with added muffled hearing and a frozen ass head.
The dedication, man, to your hair though. Admirable. Thank you, Sam. I'm probably gonna cry. I already dropped a tear.
Guys, I need every
I already dropped a tear, but you probably can't see it because of how bright the light is. But yeah, a tear just went down my face.
single person right now to go and thank Sam for me because he is the only reason why I kept my hair. No joke. We flew somebody out to teach Sam how to cold cap in person because it is a pretty meticulous and detailed process. Only qualified people are really supposed to do it, but after getting on a phone call and explaining my situation, they agreed to teach Sam how to do it. But guys, that means Sam was by my side every single day, and every single 30 minutes he had to come, undo all my straps, and then put on a new cold cap for hours a day. And I who has a friend that would do that for them? I
do. I do have a friend that would do that for me. It's a good feeling again. It really is. There's nothing really like it.
so grateful. And I don't think I could even explain how grateful I am to him of what he did for me. Like, I will never, ever, ever, ever forget the amount of work that he had to put in for me. And not only that, he drove me to my hospital appointments every single day. Every single night, he would have to drive all around Vegas to different stores to find new dry ice so that I could keep cold capping the next day. Like, it makes me like, I feel like crying right now, because that's like, it's so special, man. Like, that is so crazy to have like a friend that would like do that for you. That's awesome. And like, especially because I didn't have time to like think about all the other stuff like going on, like dealing with all my symptoms. Like, he just like took this massive stress off my shoulders, and I thank him so much, like every day for it. I owe him everything. And I hope you guys know that like what you guys see online on social media, it's so real. It's like that man is my best friend, and he's been by my side since 14. And I know one day I will be able to repay him somehow. He is an amazing human for that.
Man, just keep being his friend, obviously. That's how you repay him.
After my cycle, I was so excited to celebrate, but I wasn't even given the chance to. Only 24 hours after my cycle, I went to see an oncologist, and he basically told me that he thinks I need to do more chemo. What happened is one of my blood tumor markers shot up during the cycle, and he had never seen it go that far out of range. And so, erring on the side of caution, he was like, you should probably just do one more, and we'll monitor your blood more closely just to make sure this doesn't happen again. And guys, truthfully speaking, this was probably the lowest I felt during this entire journey, solely because it was a blindside. The thought of chemo from the beginning was something I didn't want to do, but as soon as I decided that I was going to do it, all my anxiety went away. But this was different because I thought I was done. I thought I had beat cancer at this point, and the really hard 21 days that I just went through was worth it. It was all over. But yeah, I just remember being in the doctor's office and having that same feeling that happened to me when I got the first phone call where my heart dropped and my mind started spinning, and it was horrible. What made it even more stressful is when doing multiple chemotherapy cycles, at least in my case, they're supposed to be back to back. So I didn't have much time to go find another option or opinion.
Right.
I think all in all, if I had one piece of advice, I would just say be proactive if you're in a similar situation. Try your best to expedite appointments as much as you can. Sometimes it just takes a few extra phone calls or looking for other options from different places to get sooner appointments. For example, it was only a couple phone calls that I had to make to get my surgery expedited 1 week earlier, and that was when I had the cancer still inside of me. If you're feeling pain or something weird going on in an embarrassing area like I had, first of all, fuck that. It's not embarrassing at all. This is your health we're talking about. The most important thing is talking to somebody and getting peace of mind. Find a primary care doctor right now if you don't have one. That was my mistake. I am so lucky to be in the position that I am, and so fortunate that I have a job where I can move things around however I want and to be able to travel.
I hate that shit, man, where people judge you for like crazy. Like if you're a guy and you have literally a pain down in your testicles, man, or like anything. I remember I did at one point, and I went in and I got it checked. And thankfully, it was not what we thought it was, and I'm thankful for that. But it does, yeah, it's a very questionable thing, and you gotta just don't risk it. Don't risk it. Yeah, just do what you gotta do, man. Go get checked. Don't be afraid.
Anywhere for medical help. I can't even begin to imagine what people go through, especially people with more serious medical issues going on, like a terminal cancer. It's insane to me. I'm just thinking about somebody's poor grandma who has to do that. And that's the crazy thing, is I guarantee that every single person watching this knows somebody in your personal life who has dealt with cancer or is dealing with cancer right now. Whether it's somebody that you work with or go to school with, family member, maybe you.
This, and I'm not trying to keep pausing it on Colby's sake, because I'm really fascinated, but I know somebody right now who is dealing with cancer, and I will be leaving the link to her GoFundMe in the description below. So if you want to support anybody with cancer by watching my video, please head on over there. Please support her in any way you possibly can. It would mean the absolute world to me. She was our first ever patron to the channel. We met her in Texas. She's a fantastic person. Absolutely, really damn awesome. So please just go down there. Please support Carolyn. That would mean the world to me.
Dealt with cancer yourself? Cancer affects literally everybody. I don't mean to invoke fear in any of you by saying this, but cancer is, as a fact, the second leading cause of death. In 2023, it's estimated that 600,000 people in the US alone are going to die from cancer. And that's just the US, millions worldwide. So just imagine how many of those lives we could potentially save by donating to a charity that specializes in finding cancer early. And with that being said, I think early detection and prevention is the most important part, because it is a fact that most cancers, if found at stage 1, can be treatable. And guys, this is the main reason why I wanted to make this video in the first place, is to spread awareness and to say a giant fuck you to cancer. I truly believe in the saying, powers in numbers. The more that we can rely on each other and the more that we can lean on each other for support through hard times like medical issues like this, the better. By just watching this video and spreading awareness about early detection and prevention, you could potentially save somebody's life. I found the perfect nonprofit charity that specializes in prevention and early detection.
Is that the name of the charity?
This charity is
Fuck Cancer is the name. That's awesome. That is awesome.
Specifically covering an area that is not paid as much attention to. If every single person here watching were to donate $1, I cannot even fathom how much that would change the lives of thousands of people. If we want to say a giant fuck you to cancer, this is the way to do it. Click the link down below. I made my own page with Fuck Cancer that says all other information you should know about the charity. And again, guys, I think this could be so awesome if, as the internet, we come together and we say a giant fuck you to cancer. I'm also gonna be selling these hoodies, which a lot of you guys have asked me about because I've been wearing it for the past 6 months, in all these different colorways. And I promise you guys, if you grab a hoodie, every single dollar that you spend on one of these hoodies and or t-shirts, just getting something for your donation, will go to this nonprofit charity. We can say the biggest fuck you to cancer ever. And again, that's all I would ever want. And as for me and my situation, you might be wondering how my story ends. So I went to 3 more doctors and got 3 more oncologists' opinions. And
Thank you for welcoming into our group.
yeah,
No way. July 2nd was my birthday. No way.
About 6
No
months
way.
ago, my best friend was diagnosed with cancer. For the next couple of months, through surgery and chemotherapy, he has fought like no other. Super inspiring. Probably the coolest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. But as of 1 week ago, he was officially announced cancer-free.
Wow.
I want to share the good news that your tumor markers are completely normal and are cancer-free, and you should not get more chemotherapy.
they said that I was done. No more treatment needed, no more chemotherapy. I have officially beat cancer at 26 years old. I'm never gonna look back on this situation and be like, damn, I had cancer. Nah, fuck that. I'm looking back on this situation and being like, I beat cancer's ass at 26. In the long run, and especially raising money for charity, I think this happening to me is gonna be way more of a positive than a negative, and it's all perspective. The hard truth of it is that cancer affects literally anybody at any time, and so all we can do is spread awareness and fight against it as hard as we possibly can. So again, with all my heart, first of all, I want to say thank you for all the support that you've given me through my tough journey. Donate to the link down below. Fuck cancer. Perfect charity for this. That would mean the world to me, and let's do something awesome. Donate down below. It's time for us to all come together and say a giant fuck you to cancer.
Wow. Wow, okay. Well, that's crazy. Wow, two good things happened on my birthday, didn't it? No. Two phenomenal... I will be donating to that charity, by the way. Look for the name Jordan Cartwright, or maybe I'll just use JCARTSARTS, that's fine. I probably won't be able to do a whole lot right now, but I'm going to make it a thing to where I go to that charity. And again, I will be leaving Carolyn's link down in the description below if you want to go help her out. She has cancer right now, and she's fighting it desperately. And I'm sure it would mean the world to her if a lot of people at least donated $1 or however much you guys can. Crazy video, man. It was really good. It was really good. It was really good, man. That was... I'm grateful that he went into full detail about his situation. A lot of stuff I didn't know, and at the end of the day, I'm just excited that he made it. He made it through. He beat it. He kicked its ass. That's fantastic news, man. That really is fantastic news. Congratulations, man. Congratulations, Colby. Yeah, man. Fuck yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome to hear. All right, and if this video helps my community spread awareness for cancer because of Colby's video, that is more than I think anybody could ever ask. All right.